Hello friends, it's Peggy Lou. Welcome back. Today I'd like to share with you my winter decor that I chose for January. The month of February, of course, we like to have Valentine things, but for January I really still enjoy all the evergreen, and I choose green glass and evergreen trees. I have some mugs to show you over there that are left-in mugs with cardinals on them. And I do like to add snowflakes too. Let me show you first this really unusual vintage tablecloth that I found in an antique store. It's really different since it doesn't have holly on it. Just a really neat pattern of wood grain, red boards, and the evergreen pieces. So it really works great for winter. Here's just some of my fruit picks. I have little different pieces in there. Actually, the fruit is on a half candle ring again. My swan that I showed you in the living room decor was sitting on my piano, so I stole him for out here. So let's go over to the hutch and I'll talk about what's over there. Oh, first, I'll show you that I do love to hang up a couple of nice snowflakes. These are much bigger ones than what I had in the window in my kitchen video. Norm bought me some nice fancy gold hooks, very cheap at Hobby Lobby, but they really are much prettier. I was always taking jewelry wire and trying to make my own hooks with white jewelry wire, but I like these a whole lot easier. I still enjoy having my milk glass large vases in my old 50s looking 60s laminate hutch here that I'm thrilled to have found many years ago. It was handmade by someone, we were told, by the vendor of the antique booth where we found it. And he's got a pretty thin piece of glass up here for the top shelving, and Norm didn't want me to store two rows of glasses and the mugs. He thought that was a little heavy for it, but so I just took out one of the rows right now. I've got a miscellaneous mixture of some of our vintage glassware in back that's red and green. But I put in some more of the snowball looking Fenton couple pieces there in front of my vases. They are always fun for winter. And over here, this is the Fenton daisy and button pattern. Cutest little creamer and sugar set. And I don't know if this is considered a candy dish or what. I thought somehow maybe when I purchased it, they said it was a ginger jar, but I don't know. Maybe you might know. So I've left my Christmassy looking greenery in a couple of those vases there. These are the left-in mugs I found many years ago, so I was happy to find 6 of them, and I always use them in the hutch here for January. Up here I have 5 little different compotes. I just found the one in the middle in, was that lacrosse? I can't remember. It's shown in a recent trip video. I think it was lacrosse. It was $10. But I knew it was bigger than the other 4 that I had. It was taller and and larger. So I knew that that's where I was going to use it, was up here with the other 4 compotes. So I just left some of the little greenery pieces from Christmas that are just wintry looking to me. There's a little fruit in there. But I was happy to find that middle-sized one. I guess I think it's always nice to have an odd number. I wanted to talk about how I hang up our milk glass plates. I get so many questions. So many viewers are asking me, how do you hang your milk glass plates? I will take down a plate and show you what the back looks like. But first of all, you need to understand that all of these plates up here have an open, lacy edge on them. Here you can see how I have started a loop on one side. On the left side, that's actually just, I've taken a long piece, folded it in half, and then looped it over the left side of the plate. And then across to the other side, what you should always consider is about 1/3 of the way down. If you go too much further, like halfway down, the plate could hang out from the wall. So try to stay about the upper third. And I stick a large scissors, underneath the nylon fishing line from the top to down to the center. Poke it, push the scissors down to the center. Just something to raise up the fishing line to give you that slack. And while that large scissors is laying there, you can go over to the other side and tie it tight in several knots. And then I tape down the extra end pieces there, just to have a little something extra. Safety, maybe. Hopefully that would hold if somehow the knot would loosen up, and I doubt that very much. I think this is like about 12-pound fishing line. I don't know if it's 14, but somewhere around there. I had it around the house because I use it for stringing beads. So that's what I do. I hope that makes sense to you. You get it very straight on your wall when you go to hang it up, and then hope that it starts stretching out that nylon fishing line so it will form a point and stay in place when you slam your door, like Norm does all the time, the sliding door. I would like to show you, I thrifted all of this glass, and I just went to the thrift stores a week ago in order to do this video. I knew that I was going to want some small clear glass sugar sets. I found 3 sets very quickly at Bibles for Missions for 79 or 99 cents for the pair. That's how cheap glassware is, clear glassware. This is even, I believe, Fostoria American pattern. And they are normally kind of pricey, but in this thrift store that we love to go to, they price everything so cheap. So I found 3 sets right away that were small, very small, and I thought would work. The little plates behind are probably Wexford. And is that Anchor Hocking, Wexford? But I found 6 of those a year ago, and I bought them to actually use on my table for the holidays for my guests to put the little dinner roll on and their pat of butter. I always have a separate dish that I want for everyone to be able to use for their dinner roll or fancy bread, Christmas bread. So these goblets I started looking for last year, but aren't they pretty patterns? And maybe they were like $3 each, even in antique shops. This one I've seen very expensive in antique shop. One particular antique shop here in the Twin Cities. That again is the eye winker pattern. So of course when you have a whole set of them, they're just beautiful for actually using. Are they considered for cordials, or is that too big for cordials? See, I know nothing about serving liqueurs or wine. Sorry, I just don't know. So they could be a little wine glass of some sort too. I don't know. You could let me know that too. I hung some more of those little old 1953 plastic snowflakes here and there on the plates, just to add a little more wintry touch. Down here, I still have, I showed this on this whole section here of my shelf with that glassware on it, and this on Instagram. I posted this on Instagram, a little video, but this is my favorite huge old fruit candle ring. That is a little extra piece stuck in the middle there because this was a candle ring. But it is just beautiful for January. I love it. It's so rich and still wintry to me. And those are some other wonderful pieces. Not so much evergreen that you would think of. Pine, there's no pine in those down below, but lots of nice fruit. So that's what I enjoy looking at while I'm sitting across the table all January. Over here, I found this really neat, what they had on the tag was snack set. That's 3 pieces that you take apart plus the lid. I have never seen this before. Look at the neat base on it. I think that's really mod and a very quality green glass. I don't see any more than maybe one little tiny bubble somewhere. I think it's pretty neat. So I just put a little snowflake on it. I found this adorable ceramic snowman, maybe 3 years ago or more. Again with a pipe. He's so cute. Very nicely done, but boy does he have crazing on him, huh? Over here is a beautiful video, winter scenery and sounds. I think it was Sounds of Nature, the name of the channel, but I will put that below in my description. I had some more milk glass pieces that I have not shown yet that are wintry looking. When I purchased this candy dish, I fully intended it to be in my living room. It is so pretty. I hope you're getting enough detail there. It is pretty bright here. I've got a sunny day finally to do this dining room area without turning on a lot of my living room and kitchen lighting to try to help. But anyways, this beautiful candy dish does not show up in my living room from a distance. It's just too fine a design on it. I was a little disappointed, but I have plenty in there that has much deeper cuts in the design and really shows nice from a distance. But this is pretty here for a wintry look, and the next 2 are just some fun pieces that were so reasonable. So this is a very nice little dish too, and I don't know what their purpose is. They all have names of what they were meant for. So let's go upstairs and I'll show you my snowman figurines, my little snowman collection. I'll start with this old 60s crazy shadow box that we refurbished. It was in pretty tough shape when we found it, but it was a real deal. I put one of my little miniature trees, evergreen trees, and a newly thrifted snowman candle holder from Taiwan in there. He doesn't go as well on my shelf behind me with all my other snowmen because of the base on him. None of the others have a base like that, so he does kind of stick out. So I thought I'd put him over here and put some pine greenery on top of the shelf. Let's go up here to my larger metal shelf. This is an old ceramic piece. He really is cool. Very nicely done. The colors are just so cheery. I love his yellow hair. A lot of these, when I find them, they're not the high gloss glaze. They're the duller glaze. Like you see, this one I just found at the Goodwill. I was really surprised, and it was after Christmas. He was a steal, and he's really big head, but so cute. He even has a funny hand there, but I just love that old-fashioned design. When they put holly on their head, that's like, to me, a 50s design, so I honestly don't know if it shows anything underneath, if this has a mold name stamped in it either, but that is a brand new find, as well as this couple here. I also thought they were just adorable. But what was crazy, and I think it was after Christmas that I found these two also, so they were just ridiculously inexpensive because, for one thing, her eyes were missing. Can you believe that they had eyes in him, and hers were that way too, that light up? Now, why would a snowman's eyes light up? And normally those battery, they did have a round plastic container on the back of the eyes that you push through, that held a battery. So I'm just wondering if they were blinking, and that to me sounds ridiculous too. So I pulled his out, and I had some craft googly eyes in the house. So I just glued them in, and I think they're just adorable that way, to have some eyes that look alive. I can't imagine weird looking eyes that light up. This is an old hobbyist piece, I'm assuming, mug. And he's not white, which is a little disappointing to me, but he's still very cute. So the four things then that I have on this shelf balance out pretty good. I always love balance. And I know I'm being very unusual again by using doilies. These are the big pieces of doilies that I cut out of the big tablecloth. So actually was very fortunate then to end up with 4 big pieces like that. And I did hang some snowflakes, a couple snowflakes that match on the sides. Down here, A couple years ago, I found this absolutely huge, heavy, very modern stag deer. I think I saw it on the internet one time and it was pretty expensive. I did not write down anything about it. I should research it again. But it was in an antique shop in Hutchinson, Minnesota, where we love to go. And I was totally shocked when I saw him way up high on top of a bookcase. And I thought he was going to be expensive. I asked Norm to reach it for me, and he said it was $6. I said, what? This guy is so heavy. And I do recall that they said he was brass. They did something to texturize him. Pretty weird, isn't it? He is really unusual. And I do like him because he's so mod. Then last summer at the thrift store, for a couple dollars, I found this huge brass deer, female doe. So that really helped to have a pair. She's pretty well matched for his size. So this is the greenery that I picked from my bins with a little bit of sticks and berries in one of my favorite vases I found many years ago. There is a name on the bottom of the vase edge that's stamped on the edge, and I don't recall what that is, but that is a lovely gold, metallic gold splatter on there. So I've been using him, that vase, with my any brass in the front entrance for many years until I started finding a lot of other really neat vases in the past couple years. So that's what's on that table over there. Let's go over here and see what I put over here. Now this isn't quite as fancy or glamorous, but I've had this Royal Copley vase for a very long time. And even though to me it's more spring-like because she has a fawn, I still thought it would be very nice to put up here on a brown bookcase. So a little more greenery I happen to have around, and these are thrifted deer that do not match. They go very well together, but I just, every now and then when I see a brass deer, for many years now, I've just gotten it because it was so cheap. And now all of a sudden they're saying that brass has come back. That's great. Great news. I just found this at the Goodwill. No, it was a Salvation Army. Yeah. Oh, it is so heavy. You would not believe how heavy this thing is. I just purchased a gold, very straight pieces of a branch in beautiful gold with a white marble base jewelry tree, and shown it in a video that we have been working on 3 videos of the Antique Mall of Rogers, Minnesota, 5 miles from us. It is such a big mall that we've had to do 3 videos, and we still haven't gotten everything in it. But just, so I just purchased that, and this was $6.99. Yeah, I believe it was $7. But you could use it for ornaments. You could use it for Halloween ornaments. You could make little bats and hang them on there. But Norm agreed that this corkscrew-looking jewelry tree or ornament tree would be very fun to have. So he agreed that it was neat. But boy, I practically need his help carrying it. So that is what's over here. Now let's go past the upstairs level bathroom door and look at what I need to step down one step here in order to line up with this shelf a little better. I've been collecting little snowman figures for many years and think they're so cute for January. I got a feeling I've many times even just left them out for February too, because I just haven't wanted to bother changing to red glassware up here. But this Norm purchased for me because I talked him into it. She was a little pricey, but when was the last time you saw a snow girl like that? She is just crazy adorable and looks like she's got peppermint sticks for arms. But I'm showing you because she's first here on the bottom, but she is probably the sweetest one that I have up here. I, again, many years ago, purchased large plastic lacy tablecloth material that you would pull off of a very large bolt roll in a store like Joann, etc., maybe many years ago. You sure don't see much of this anymore, but I had taken quite a bit of it because I knew I was going to be cutting up pieces for all the different things that I like to use it for. And so I have some up here that really looks nicer from downstairs. You would see the bottoms of all of these figurines and it would not look nice from downstairs. So this is much better to use that for these types of figurines. So a lot of these they're all thrifted, as I said, but a lot of these flat finished ones are Taiwan. And I started liking them because I just could not find these older Japan ones. The one on the end there is really unique and very much a sweet, more detailed Japan one. This little guy's a salt or pepper, so I do have some of them, but whenever I'd find a little evergreen tree, I'd pick that up too. I could never find enough evergreen trees that were miniature, and they're getting really pricey too. The ones with the snow on them, ridiculous what they want for them. I'm so glad I found them in thrift stores long time ago. She's a new find. Another Taiwan, happy to find her. He is new this year, this past fall, happy to find him. And I just found this one late last year. Very cute. Never seen that one before either, also Taiwan. The one in the end could be a salt or pepper too. So they're probably 80s, 90s, I don't know. But this is a very sweet Taiwan girl. So cute. And I think that's a bell. Just adorable face. Also Taiwan, but sure is sweet for a Taiwan one. And him too. They're both flat finish. Holding a little squirrel, I guess. And back down here, that was her, and he's a very funny one I've had for probably a decade or more. And this one was very funny with the hat over its eyes. But these two are Japan and just so sweet. The one on the end is a salt or pepper. But look at this guy in the middle. Now, Wouldn't it be wonderful if you could find more like that from Japan? I wish I could, but they used to be way more abundant about 10 years ago when I was looking for them. I would like to show you that Dayton Box. I had a viewer write to me and say that she worked at Dayton's for quite a while. So that was very, very cool for her to tell me that. Here is the receipt. I should get myself from shading it. The receipt from Dayton's department store. It says the Dayton Company, and you can see right above the date word there, it says January 5th, 1953, Minneapolis. I counted around out here in the dining room and kitchen 15 of these snowflakes. There may have been 16, I don't know, but I did purchase it at an antique shop quite a few years back, and it was 50 cents original price of all of those. Yeah, isn't that amazing? Wow. This is the box. It doesn't say Dayton's on it. My father's entire career was with the Dayton Company and J.B. Hudson. They have quite a history that you can read about. Originated in the Twin Cities, and I believe they were like the anchor store of the first shopping mall there ever was in the Twin Cities area. I believe was in Edina, Minnesota, not too far from us. My father managed the delivery building down on Olson Highway, downtown Minneapolis. He was in charge of all the delivery trucks to make sure they all got back home safely to the delivery building, and all the packages were sorted there. And the delivery business eventually went away. I'm not sure why and when that happened, but by that time my dad was pretty close to retirement. So he decided to retire. I guess he was just very close and decided to retire. So I spent a lot of time down at the original Dayton's big department store building, which they are still deciding to hang on to, thank goodness, in downtown Minneapolis. They are renovating it, and I believe there's probably going to be offices up above, but I'm really grateful that it's still going to be there. And I think Minneapolis, maybe St. Paul, I don't know a whole lot about them, but I know that they are trying to hold on to some of our very important historical buildings down there with their architecture. And you know how there's always so much tugging with those kind of situations to hang on to old buildings and history. I don't know why I didn't notice that the lid of this box that the snowflakes came in actually had a lot of information in it, and it said it only contained 8 of them. So whoever bought them purchased probably 2 sets, because I thought that I should have had a even number like 16. I could only find 15 in the house here, so maybe one of them broke, but they must have bought 2 sets and then just put them in this one box. But what I was really surprised to start reading was it said Candy Jewel Snowflakes, and look at how they spelled snowflakes. Boy, that's really weird, but, well, this is Charles Schumberger Incorporated in New York. But I don't know why they would spell snowflakes that way. But I thought, well, these can't be the right snowflakes. They're not candy jeweled. but I started reading this, and it says, when filled with multicolored spice jelly drops, have many appealing, these delightful ornaments have many appealing uses. For Christmas tree or chandelier decorations, cute. Simply insert spice drops in holes and on points. Wow, even on the points? Oh my goodness, they're so fragile. Wow, kind of like the gumdrop trees, you know? Those points can break, but these are even more fragile than the gumdrop tree I have. So, it's spelled snowflake the same way. So, put them on the points of each snowflake and attach to your Christmas tree with small wires or ribbon. They may be used individually as party favors, souvenirs, or connecting festoons for party decorations. Now that is one word I have never used. Have you? Festoons. Wow. That's cool. I'm going to look up that one. Candy jewel snowflakes lend themselves to innumerable gala designs for year-round. Wow, they were pretty fancy about putting an apostrophe for the A there instead of year-around, for year-round. Festivities. Sorry to be reading all over the place there. Over 60 years dependable. So that is really cool. Can you picture that? Boy, I don't know if I'd probably sacrifice one of these trying to put some of my gumdrops in those holes, and then on the ends, I'll try it, but my gumdrops have gotten harder since I took them out of, well, I've got some in some of those candy jars over there. Maybe I'll have to try them, but I'll put another clip in here if I do manage to do that. That would be interesting, but wouldn't that be colorful? Well, wish me luck. I'm back. Well, I managed to not break the snowflake. It was a little tricky getting them pushed through the holes. The circular sections, the pointy ones, weren't too bad. My gumdrops were a little bit hard. I'm sure it wouldn't be so hard if you bought a fresh package. So yeah, they would probably be very pretty on a tree, very yummy on a tree that had treats on it, huh? That would be fun. So I thought you would enjoy seeing what they're really supposed to look like. That's funny that it took me all these years to happen to notice that. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your winter. I'll probably talk to you again for some Valentine's decor and some shop along with us videos that I hope you will look up. They're a lot of fun. Thank you again. You have a great day. Bye.